Hey, good morning everybody. AmpRepairGuy.com, 203-892-4119. That's 203-892-4119. So we have here another Heathkit Sb-220. Been working on a lot of these. I have a whole stack of boxes upstairs. I'm going to go through each amp as quick as I can, but as thorough as always. No stone unturned. So, I went away for the weekend, went to Six Flags. I love roller coasters. Went on the Kingda, the Jersey Devil, all of those rides, man, over and over and over. It was a blast. So, back to work here. So, we're going to put in the Harbach filter cap board kit, Harbach metering board kit, change the plate blocker, rewind the parasitic suppressors, put in the series glitch resistor, check the SO239 connectors, clean all the rotary switches, do the bias modification, ground the grids, and check it all the rest of it over. So I'm going to get to work, and when it's all done, I'll be back with the completed amplifier. Also needs a new set of tubes, so I had the customer order a set of Penta Labs 3500Zs. Awesome company. I always talk about them, just can't say enough good about them. I don't get anything for promoting their product. I just want my customer, it's like a win-win for me, win-win for the customer, because they get an amplifier that continues to work. And if they ever have a problem, they call them up, and Penta is great. Their customer service is just great, awesome, and less headaches for me because I put the tubes in, it works, and it goes to the customer, and they love it, and no one's upset at me because the tube blew up or anything, and just good to go. So I just love their company. They're just a great company. So I give credit where credit is due, just like the Harbach kits. Awesome kits. Jeff's a great guy over there at Harbach Electronics. His boards. I don't know why people, I want to touch on this, I don't know why people don't, I've seen other people fix these amps. I mean, a meter protection board's like 40 bucks. I'm sorry, a metering board is like 40 bucks. Correction, not a meter protection, but it has meter protection on the board. So that board's like 40 bucks, has a better bias diode setup, has the meter protection diodes, it's just better, so I don't understand why people don't just go ahead and change that, and then they still charge the same money. But I always pull out that stock diode and replace the metering board and do all the other stuff. It's standard. I always do that. Because it's either now or later. It's gonna, if you don't do it now, the thing, you fix it and send it on its way, it's gonna end up failing. So, and those resistors over time, the tolerance changes. I've also, one more thing, I've seen people put in different parasitic suppressors. They wind them differently. It might work or whatever, but non-inductive carbon comp resistors are the best type of resistor you can get. They have the least amount of inductance. And there's nothing wrong with the stock setup over time. Remember, these amplifiers are old. Resistor values shift over time. So as long as the amplifier is being run like it should be run, you rewind them with new resistors, they'll outlast whoever's running, whoever owns the amplifier. As long as you don't have a parasitic oscillation. You end up doing the modifications I do, very unlikely you'll ever have a parasitic issue. And one more thing I want to add, and I'm going on here, but I've seen people test these well beyond what the power rating is, and they say, oh, I want to test it, to its max. The max is 1200 watts peak. You push it, you risk damaging the band switch, you put stress on the tubes, you're harming the customer's amplifier when you do that. There's no excuse for pushing the thing to 2400 watts, putting 250 watts of peak input into it. When I'm done with the thing, with the grids grounded and everything, takes, I forget what it is, 50 something, 60 watts, depending on the band, to get the full 1200 watts PEP out. So, okay, so I will be back. Please stand by. Well, it's instantaneous for you, but, you know, these kits, they come as kits. So, they're they're soldered, here's an old one someone had. This is an old one. A double-sided board, so you have to make sure they're soldered nice through, you know, the hole to each side. So it takes some time. So I'll get that all set, and then I will be back. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, I'm back with the completed Sb-220. The metering board, series glitch resistor, and be positive. Change the meter lamps. Tightened up the nuts in the back of the meters, took the outer nuts off, and then tightened the inner nuts. You just want to snug them up, you don't want to go crazy. Did the Harbach filter cap board, awesome kits, awesome company, Harbach Electronics. The plate tune cap looked fine, load cap looked fine. Change the plate blocking cap, use deoxit gold on the input rotary, deoxit gold on the output rotary, near the band switch. Rewound the parasitic suppressors, brand new 2-watt carbon comp resistors, brand new Pentalab tubes, awesome company, that's all I recommend. So, fan looks good. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here's the bottom. Grounded the grids the proper way. Strap right to the chassis. Did the bias modification for the self-bias. Put a new wire in, went around this way because the RF output switching's on this side, on this set of contacts. So I went around so it wouldn't be near it at all. Used Teflon wire, silver plated stranded center conductor. Went directly over to the rectified 90 volt winding strip here. Changed the electrolytic cap. I always do that. I've spoken about that before. I zip tied everything nice, real nice. Clean the contacts on the relay with deoxit gold. And check the SO239 connectors, they're good. So I want to say something. I've seen people where they've taken these and they just flat out turn them on, you know, and you know, if you have a grid to filament short, you're going to cook the filament transformer. So what I do, I get the tubes, I high pot them, check between the grid and the filament and the grid and the plate, and I use a DC high pot tester, which is current limited in the microamps, so when it starts to pull current I back right off. And I also reverse the polarity, you know, to see if, you know, if there's a broken wire, it'll pull one way or another. So you know, sometimes it'll pass one in one polarity and then fail the other polarity. So it's important to use a DC high pot tester, not AC. Okay, so it's very important that you just don't turn it on. And I've seen other people use a variac to fire up an amp. That's not a good idea. Think about it. You're turning the variac up, you're charging the filter capacitors. If you have a shorted tube or shorted cap, you know, the caps are going to charge, and you know, you're still going to have damage, you know, from the energy stored in the cap. So that's why when one comes in with old caps, I disconnect the secondary of the transformer from the caps and then I turn it on. It's just, you know, you know, it's just not a good idea. So, okay, so that's it. This thing is all set. Thanks for watching. The website is amprepairguy.com. 203-892-4119, and I forget if I touched on it, but SO239s are good also. That's it. Take care. Have a great day.